punch, and the punch flew at 4/100ths of a second. You can break a second down to 100 pieces. You know how people win a ski race, they say 1 in 16/100ths, you 1 in 32/100ths of a second. So you can break a second down to 100 pieces. So, you know, it's quick. So 4/100, they got a machine that goes like real quick, and it counts real quick, you know, real quick. And by the time that thing hit 4, that's how quick, from the time the punch started to the where it landed, it was 4/100ths of a second, which is an eye blink. Like a camera flash, that's 400ths of a second. Now, the minute I hit Sonny Liston, all of those people blinked at that moment. That's why they didn't see the program. I swear. Now, if you watch the film close, you gotta hold your eyes. And keep looking about that. When I said, all right, I'm getting ready to hit him, you can't just, you got to hold your eyes and wait, so you won't see it, man.
They had this beautiful, you know, specimen, fighting machine. And it was handsome, it was articulate, it was funny, charismatic, and was whooping ass, too.
The bronze heavyweight champion Cassius Clay at a federal court in Houston is found guilty of violating the U.S. Selective Service laws by refusing to be inducted. He is sentenced to 5 years in prison and fined $10,000.
The way he fused politics and sports, so very few black athletes have ever talked the way Muhammad Ali talked, without fear of something happening to him in their career.
His status as a black Muslim minister made him exempt from the draft.
He was already very unpopular with mainstream Americans because he had joined an organization known as the Nation of Islam, which was perceived as a radical black separatist group. And then on top of that, when he was called for induction and refused to take the step forward, he absolutely infuriated America.
Muhammad Ali said that no Viet Cong ever called me nigger.
The king is going home to get his throne. From the root to the fruit, that's where everything started at. This is God's act, and you're part of it. This is no Hollywood set. This is real. Hollywood come in and take these kind of scenes and set them up. Have somebody in the movies playing his life. This is real. We don't pick up a script. We get up in the morning feeling tired. Sometimes we feel good, sometimes bad, but we go through it with feelings. Muhammad Ali was born to do it. He's a prophet. He's going to be a fisherman for Elijah Muhammad. This is only a stop, look, and listen sign he's doing, fighting. We've been fighting ever since we've been met. You beat Uncle Sam, 3.5 years, come out of the garage and beat number 2. First man ever did it. The rest of them, they put out the country. This is God's act. We just actors in it. If Jesus was here, everybody would want his autograph, and if films was around when he was around, they'd be filming him. The only thing, this is a sport. That's why you walk and talk to him. I think Muhammad is a prophet. How you going to beat God, son? Anybody love poor people and little people, gotta be a prophet. He was champion of the world, had a long table full of food, had a house for his mother, one for him, and he told him to take it and share it. If he couldn't love his God, what you think he is, mister?
Ali trained for the fight with Foreman at Deer Lake, Pennsylvania. He trained very hard for that fight.
One more.
And he had very good sparring partners. Larry Holmes was one of his sparring partners. Yeah, I was struck with how well he'd actually handled Ali in their sparring sessions. He'd dominated Ali. That wasn't uncommon. Ali very often would not show his best stuff with his sparring partners, but in fact would work on his weaknesses. He'd go against the ropes and he'd let people pummel him, very heavy hitters who were sort of clumsy. He'd let them bang away at him. It was as if he wanted to train his body to receive these messages of punishment and absorb them faster than other fighters could absorb them.
True significance of why the Scotsmen fought in Africa is because they came up with $10 million, $5 million for George Foreman, $5 million for me. London, England was trying to get in. promoters here in America were trying to get it. None of them could surpass the $5 million bar.
The dream is now becoming a reality.
Don King went to George Foreman and got Foreman to sign an option agreement saying that if King could deliver $5 million, Foreman would fight Ali. Then King went to Ali and made the same deal with him. So Don King now had both fighters, their signatures on a piece of paper. What he didn't have was $10 million.
A festival that will complement this great sporting event, the greatest sporting event in the history of the world.
Greatest of all time.
Of all time, Mr. Champ says.
Greatest evil of all time.
With some dynamic...
Evil and the Kentucky Derby on the same day.
The president of Zaire was willing to put $10 million of his country's own very scarce, hard-earned currency on the line, not for any short-term economic reason, but because he felt that the fight would be good in terms of promoting Zaire and also in terms of promoting himself. And as Ali said at the time, countries go to war to get their names on the map, and wars cost a lot more than $10 million.
So the most dynamic performance from Afro-America will be appearing down there at the stadium in Kinshasa on the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd, along with the world, with its theatrical release. It will be James Brown, who is Soul Brother #1, one of our top leading black artists. Yes, James Brown will be there performing. We will have B.B. King, the Spinners.
First assembly in the history of all America, where all the top-notch blacks of America and the people of Africa had something together, all on a world level. We're all meeting each other and learning more about each other. It's the first assembly among American black men and Africans like this in the history of the world. And it's a big honor to be part of that, too. Plus, I got to whoop George. Got to whoop George. We're going to rumble in the jungle. Come on. Come on. I go. Speak to him. Hold it.
George, is this fight against Ali will be the toughest of your career, you think?
Pensez-vous que le match contre Ali va être le plus dur de votre carrière?
Could be. Could be. I doubt it.
This is Muhammad Ali, September 10th at New York City Airport en route to Zaire to reclaim the heavyweight title of the world. Champ, what would you like to say to the children of the world?
I like to tell the children of the world, mainly right here where they speak and understand English in America, to live a clean life, stay off of dope, just turn the country up. Also, if they want to be like me, I'm getting ready to go whoop George Foreman. And by the time they see this, I would have beaten them. Tell them to quit eating so much candy. I have 3 rotten teeth, and they're bad, and I had to have one of them pulled. I can't chew my food like I should. Eat natural foods, because we must whip Mr. Tooth Decay. I got one right here, one right here.
Yesterday, Ali told us that he's going to use part of his money for the building of the hospital. Do you intend yourself to use part of your money for something? Have you got a project?
He may think he may have to be in the hospital.
The Rumble in the Jungle was a landmark fight in boxing history. It was also a coming-out party for Don King. The man with the Einstein shock of hair is a genius when it comes to promotion. In his greatest coup, King persuaded one of the most feared dictators in Africa to stake a record payday to bring the fight to Zaire.
Don is a very personable guy. Don can make you feel very much at home and relaxed. And Don is able to convince people that investing in his promotion could only be a financial success.
The greatest sporting event in the history of the world.
Greatest of all time.
Of all time, Mr. Champ says.
Greatest evil of all time.
Don King, the genius con artist, convinced Mobutu, the dictator of Zaire, to put up $10 million for the fight, to pay for roads, to pay for improvements in the stadium. He convinced Mobutu that this fight would generate tourism from America to Zaire, which of course never happened. This fight showed what a great talker Don King is.
The champions are here. So we try to get the champions of the sports world, champions of the music world. So we put them both together and we got one champion that's so intermingled and intertwined and we're fused into one entity.
Every night on the news we saw what Kinshasa was like. That was this wonderful place. Ali was happy back there. Don King was doing V for Victory signs, walking in the streets, wearing African clothing. And suddenly the world got to see that Zaire